Greetings, TwoSun lovers. This old sword back with you again. And this is a video I'm doing as part of a series on favorite knives. This one's a little different, but I have done my favorite Bestech budgets, my favorite Bestech higher end, favorite Wii knives, favorite Kaisers, and forget what else I did, but it's out there. And should you need to know more about any one of these knives, there are individual reviews on each. Now, the little specification here is that these are larger, more robust TwoSun knives, and got my crib notes over on the side here because many of them only go by numbers, but I feel the way these knives are made and so many of them coming in under $100, maybe one or two occasionally edging up over 100, the materials you're getting, the CNC work, machining, the designs, they're just incredible. So if you're not already a TwoSun knife lover, perhaps after this you will be, or you want to be. I will say that many people feel they're only available on eBay or DHgate or AliExpress, and that's all true. They're available there. One other source, and don't want to overly promote this concern, but they do have an inventory of them that rotates, and they're coming in and out all the time, and that's White Mountain Knives. And at White Mountain, you can get 10% off by using my discount code OLDSWORD. So remember that. Now let's get to the goods. The very first one we're going to go for here is one that is nicknamed, actually has a name, the Gulper. Yeah, like a big fish. This is a design by Mazwan Mokhtar. And I'll verify that in a minute. I'm pretty sure that it is. So the Gulper, the number is TS191, 191. Heavier knife, very solid. Again, my emphasis here is on lots of titanium, carbon fiber on all but one of these, and just exquisitely designed and machined up in at the level that you're going to pay for many Wii knives, Bestech knives, Riot, what have you. I mean, for the most part, they're really up there with those knives. There are occasions where the quality control's down just a little bit, and they are hard to return if you got them on eBay. If you get them from White Mountain, one of the plus factors is you're paying a set price, but something's wrong, you don't like it, you can return it. I believe Justin has a money-back guarantee on everything. You can check that out. But this TS191 has beautiful carbon fiber. It's equally inlaid on both sides. That's something they've started doing maybe over the past year or so. It's got a beautiful blade of S90V, so we've got a premium cutlery steel. The ergos, it's a fairly flat handle, fairly neutral with the ergos, no finger grips except for the what you call a finger choil there on the handle. Full closed back construction, titanium clip. Most of the titanium clips are not switchable, so if you need that, you're just going to have to move on. There are some that are switchable, some of the spring metal clips. So the Gulper, and just real quick here, we're talking about a knife, since I'm not going to do comparisons with any of the standard knives. You're talking about a knife that is 8 3/4 inches overall with almost a 4-inch blade, like a 3 7/8 inch blade. So a big knife, and I like big knives. I've gained some appreciation for smaller ones, but like my big knives. We're going to put that guy aside, and we're going to move on to the TS-190 Cobra. So 1 digit away from the 191, and that's what makes them difficult to remember. And I wish more of them had names. A lot of the guys do nickname them even when they don't. This design is by Night Morning. He's probably their original designer, followed by Wong, and then a whole raft of others that are newer designers. Again, this is the only one without any carbon fiber in it, but it's got a real interesting milling that makes it appear as though there's a bolster there. Beautiful sculpted clip, kind of rounded. The whole knife is sculpted, mostly open back construction, except for that pommel spacer. Got a lanyard hole, fits the hand with stuff left over, and a beautiful upswept blade. It's not a drop point. You see it's got a little hint of Persian there, and ever so slight recurve in there. I'm not even sure why they did it, but there is that little bit of recurve in there. It does help you bite when you're slicing, and that big belly there is going to be great for any kind of chore that requires slicing. It's got a high flat grind. Steel on this guy is M390, so you've got the premium, if not one of the premium steels. You know, your 20 CV and M390 are still reigning pretty high on the list of cutlery steels. So that's the Cobra. And again, big knives. Lots of room on the handle. Very neutral here. Very similar contour to the 191. High flat grind. And the action on all of them, pretty much drop shut, as you can see. Beautiful action, lovely tuned action. All right, we'll go off to the side here. And this is the only Karambit I've included. This is, I feel, TwoSun's premier Karambit. I'll jump right to the obvious that there is no clip on this. It's meant to be carried in the waistband or the pocket. And Mazwan Mokhtar designed this. This Karambit is known as the 242, TS242. Has a beautiful sculpted shape to it. High grind. Feels a little on the, well, I'm not sure. It could be a flat grind. The edge is just wicked sharp. And it's an M390 steel. The thing is, I think this came in at like $80 or something like that. Ridiculous. For the carbon fiber, this solid titanium handle. The action's interesting because you can thumb it open, and you're going to have maybe a little bit of a challenge. Well, you can use it as a front flipper. I mean, there's this tiny little flipper tab right at the very front. Just run your finger across it and you can open it that way. I much prefer using the thumb hole. It's positive every time. It is a large knife, not quite as large as the others because you've got a curved overall shape versus a straight one. So stretch that out. It's going to be as large as the others, but you've got pretty much like a third of a circle there, quarter of a circle. Again, pretty neutral ergos, and because it's a Karambit, that is one of the preferred ways to use it. Got that point forward design that I've been talking about. Not as pointy a point, but this thing's plenty sharp. Beautiful swedge on the back here. It almost looks like a bird's head and a beak. Gorgeous carbon fiber. Massive liner. I was going to say liner lock, frame lock. Hardened steel insert, of course. And this thing on the end looks like a tractor tread, like a tire tread. You can see the seam, so yeah, it's not unibody or uniframe. It does have two halves. And let's see if there's one other thing on this one. Yeah. Internal stop pins, I believe. Very hard to see, but I believe they're there. I had this thing apart tuning it when I first got it. It wasn't quite the way I wanted it. It's perfect now. I mean, to get a Karambit to drop shut like that, that is fairly rare. Moving on, because we're a little over 10 minutes now, I don't want to keep you too long, is the TS311. I did the review on this and obtained it recently within the last month of this video. And for its size, it is a light knife. And look at that blade, just drop shut for sure once it gets over that detent. Perfect. Only method of opening is thumb studs. The thumb studs double as a blade, double blade stops. So you notice it is not resting on any stop pin. That's just a pin to hold the handle halves together. It's almost what you'd call a, well, it's a frame lock. But they managed to get the carbon fiber on both sides, which is gorgeous. Lovely handle shape. 2 fingers here. Yeah, the hump is not that big, and I don't even really notice it. You know, a lot of people are going to complain that when they hold it, the middle finger goes over that hump. Because I'm arching my finger, I'm not pressing it into that hump. It doesn't really bother me. It's a large knife again. As I said, these are all large. They're all titanium and mostly carbon fiber. Or most have carbon fiber. That's a little over 8 3/4 inch and almost 4-inch blade. So right up there with the rest of them. The design, oh yeah. By the way, this is Sandvik, so it's 14C28N, and it is a night morning design. Beautiful back spacer on this. Look at that. Really, really nice. Fancy clip. Not too deep a carry, but good enough. And I don't believe, because there is, yeah, there's a cutout in the carbon fiber for the clip, so it's not going to swing over to the other side. So that is the TS311, and that leaves us with the last and certainly not least, this large but extremely flyweight TS236, which is also a 14C28N blade, and it is a Wong design, Wong Dangzhen, I believe. This one, why the heck not? Let's weigh it out. Hard to believe how light this guy is. 3.37 ounces, and feels even lighter than that. Because here you have a flipper that is a liner lock. There's your liners. But the liners are not steel. The liners are titanium. And because they're titanium, on that thinner than frame lock liner, they put a hardened steel insert. To me, that is crazy detail. Just not seen anywhere else. If anybody else did a titanium frame, well, knife, it would be steel, it wouldn't be titanium. And I know Boker makes some that are titanium, and they don't bother putting a hardened steel insert in there, which means, you know, you potentially you can get some wear and some galling. I said galling, right? But a beautiful Persian-inspired upswept blade with still a nice high grind. Carbon fiber on both sides. Finger grips work very well. Not too wide a handle, but wide enough it will fill your hand. Great jimping. So there you have it. 5 of my favorite larger size TwoSuns. Bring them back out for a final show here. I'm going to get them in there pretty tight because we're going to bring out the Big Rat 1 again and just kind of put it in the mix, doing a little stacking here. And you can see it is as large as some, but not quite as large as others. But you know, right in there. Not going to seem as large because it's not as tall in the blade or the handle as some. Oh yeah, and let's not forget our TS242 Karambit. So there you have my favorite large TwoSun knives, and you know, there's a few I had to leave out, but we're keeping it at 5. Maybe that's purpose for another video down the line. I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of these 5 large TwoSun folders. This old sword signing out, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. Coming up on 1,000 subscribers, gonna have a giveaway. Stay tuned.